nervous out there on Balboa Boulevard. So when I say go, I want you guys to make a real trashy sound. Are you ready? Go! Oh, that's good. That's good. And you know, it's hard to make people on Balboa Boulevard feel nervous. I see a lot of stuff out there. Hey, everybody, I am super glad that you are here. It has been a little while since we've done a trailer Trash Talent Revue. I don't know if any of y'all are regulars, but it's been since October. We didn't do November, we didn't do December, and we have, in this, the January show, some exciting news. I came in first in our fantasy football league this year. That's true, I was the only girl, and am I right, Ben? Yeah, you still mad? It's like, we'll see. We'll see. But right now, who's first, though? That looks like me, though. When you look at the numbers, it's me. That's all right. Also, if you haven't noticed by my self-Buddha belly rub here, ladies and gentlemen, my gorgeous husband, Andrew Melby, and I are expecting our first baby in July. Thank you very much. I got to tell you, up until this point, it's been all fun and games. This was a lot of fun. We are very, very, very excited. We were lucky enough to be able to tell our family and friends home in Minnesota in person this Christmas, and we just announced the news publicly to you all today. So it is brand new news. And for those of you who filled out your entry forms, you know that we ask for your name, your email, and your suggestion for a baby name. Many of you entered that, and I want you to know that that was a suggestion. If I draw your name out of the bucket of destiny, that does not mean I have guaranteed you that I will be naming my baby what you wrote on that card. But if it's good, you never know. You never know, maybe. But I don't know if any of you have been pregnant before, but the rule of thumb, the general rule is that you are not supposed to tell people you're pregnant for the first 3 months, which is why I broke the news today. And that has been a little bit of a pickle for your friend Dawn, because I have been a lifelong stoner whiskey pig who hasn't turned down a drink or a drug in my entire life. And I live with trailer trash and comedians, and mostly degenerates. So I had a feeling that the first time that somebody said, Dawn, would you like a Yag Bomb? And I said, oh, no, thank you, I'm driving. That was going to raise a little suspicion. So for the last 3 months, what I've been doing is hiding my sobriety like a drunk hides their drinking. And it's been a lot of fun. I've been pouring beers down the sink, filling those beer cans with water, doing shots and then spitting the shot in the beer chaser. It's really elegant. And kind of a fun inverse of my teens and 20s, where the water bottle used to have vodka in it, and now the vodka bottle's got water in it. It's been great. But now the news is out there, and I am delighted, and we're so excited. And of course, we are, as you need to be, cold turkey, right? And it's good, and it's easy, especially when you got the steaks. It's fine. I don't mind that. What I would prefer is that there were some room for negotiation. That would be a little easier. Somebody could give me a chart that was like, all right, Dawn, if you have 1 glass of wine, your child will never be in the NBA. And I'd be like, please. You know what I mean? Like, I really need this glass of wine, and the odds of them being in the NBA, like, that's fair. Or, okay, Dawn, if you smoke this joint, your child will have straight hair instead of curly hair. I could be like, what? That's really more an aesthetic choice than definitive harm. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest. But they don't do that. You really have to, keep it, because you can't risk something serious happening, like them coming out a fan of the Big Bang Theory. Something like that. I'll come to you when I want to hear it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have so many people that are involved in the show that we want to thank, and I want to thank them right from the beginning. The people in the back in the shadows are very important and really attractive considering that we keep them in the shadows. We have Austin and Mason and Joe back there. Give it up for Austin, Mason, and Joe. For those of you who may have seen our Facebook post, we announced today. Actually, Melby, can you put this up on the screen? The Facebook post that Joe designed for us. This is how we announced the news to friends and family on social media today. Our buddy Joe is a graphic designer. And we said, Joe, we're expecting, and we want to announce it. And I don't want to do like one of those nude things where I'm like, look at me. You know what I mean? And I feel like a pregnancy test, everyone knows you peed on that, and I don't want to put that picture of that on the thing, and an ultrasound at this point is really just a squishy blob of Play-Doh, and they're like, I guess it's a baby, it looks like an ultrasound. So we tried to come up with something else, and there it is, look at that. So Joe designed me and Melby with one in tow. Isn't that cute? And you know what, there's still people we know who are like, what? What does that mean? And I'm like, I got knocked up. What do you want? That's what that is. So thank you, Joe, especially for that. And then up here, we've got our sound guy, Dave. Give it up for Dave. Now, he is a lot of things to the show. As you can see, he is the eye candy. This is why Dave gets to sit up here in the lights, is because he's dangerously attractive. But he's also very important because he's not just our sound guy, he's been the sound guy to the stars. Dave's dad won an Oscar, guys, for doing the sound, guys, on Star Wars, guys. Star to the Wars, I know. And Dave himself has some Emmys for doing the sound on The X-Files. What else? I always forget. X-Files, but that's good enough. We never won for the Wonder Years, but we were nominated for the Wonder Years. I know. And we also want to thank you guys because I know several of you had a choice tonight to go to the Golden Globes or come here. And we're just really grateful that you chose the pizza and the possums. Like good trash do. And then we got one more person to introduce. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. We'll do that. Yeah, we'll do this. Ladies and gentlemen, he is handsome, talented, original, kind, a great kisser. Please give it up for Mr. Kevin Yeehaw!
Hello.
Welcome, Kevin.
You're pregnant.
I'm so pregnant.
Are people allowed to just touch your stomach, or is that weird?
It's weird, but you're
It's
allowed.
weird.
As
It
a matter
is
of
weird,
fact,
right?
you guys probably noticed when I got dressed, this dress was flawless.
It was. I saw it.
And as if the universe is preparing me for motherhood, I put a piece of peanut butter right on my dress.
Yeah.
Almost like if you were, I didn't intend to, it's part of the game later, we'll talk about it later, but I was peanut buttering up a piece of bread, and if you were watching from above, it looked like I just went, that goes there. It wasn't, it fell, and that's what peanut butter does, so I got peanut butter on my
I
dress.
think it looks good, though.
Did
It's like a print.
It looks like a print?
It looks like it's like a, yeah.
It looks a little like I wet my
little
pants
like
a little bit,
Yeah. That's a good point about your pregnancy test. I never thought about that. There's pee on it.
That's how you don't put it in your ear.
And then when people they reveal it on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
And the husband's like, oh wow, they're touching
That's
pee.
pee for sure.
Yeah.
And it's the only way to go. And I don't want to judge.
Right.
If you have chosen to announce your pregnancy with a picture of your pregnancy test, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But I live in a trailer park in Van Nuys. And I go, oh. So just, think about that.
Every time I see one from now on.
Yeah.
I do like those videos, though.
Their videos are cute.
When you show the husband's crying.
Melby cried.
Men being vulnerable.
Melby cried.
Oh, did you film
cried.
it?
No, I didn't film. He
It's
cried.
not on Snapchat?
He cried like a big baby.
Oh.
He
That's
cried
good.
like a big baby. I said to him, I gave him a T-shirt with Darth Vader on it that said "Galaxy's Greatest Dad," and he went, "What?" I went, "That's you," and he went, "What?" And he cried like a big baby.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Is that the shirt you're wearing?
And then and then I told him, I said, "Oh, and I want to apologize because it's going to upstage your birthday this year because his birthday's on July 24th and the baby's due on the 15th."
And if it's a little late, can it be that late? I don't know how babies work.
It can be.
How babies work. They could be on the same day. You could
this
share.
This is my doula, Kevin Yee.
Good luck. Just push it out.
Just go.
Where does it come
doing
from?
Great.
Where does it come from?
No, they can definitely be that late. They can definitely be that late.
Fingers
I'll tell
crossed.
you guys too, and this is where I'm just throwing myself into the pool of judgment, because my understanding is that new mothers, that's what you do. People judge you, and they judge everything you do, and they say things like, "Oh, you shouldn't." I mean, look at me. I was already like, "You peed on that." You know what I mean? Like, it just happens. But I come from a long line of C-sections. The women in my family have had to have their births via cesarean for generations. And so I have a hunch that we're just going to pick a date around 3 o'clock. Because
then cut her out.
Because I'll be like, I got a thing at 5.
Yeah.
I got to.
Do you guys have like a preference of like boy or girl?
This is a great question, right? Everyone wants to know, is it a boy or a girl? So why don't we give you all a chance right now? You can take a good look. I know some people think they can get... Shout out what you think it's going to be. You got a 50-50 chance.
Oh, wait, do you actually know? Do you know?
No, the doctor knows and asked us if we wanted to know, and we said no.
Ooh, so it'll be a surprise.
In part because I feel like I'm afraid if I tell everybody, I'm just going to be getting an onslaught of pink tutus or Tonka trucks, and I just don't want all that kind of pressure. You know,
so
let's
you
get
want
the
both.
teal. I want teal green things. I want, gender is a state of mind. I don't know.
No,
we'll
I like
figure
it.
out. But Kevin, how was your New Year?
It was good.
Oh,
No, it's fine. No, I was saying after Christmas and New Year's, it's kind of sad. Doesn't it feel sad?
You
like
guys
Christmas
feel
is
sad?
amazing and like sparkling lights, and then it's like January.
Yeah,
Here
California.
comes January.
You should try
Go
it
back
on
to work.
in Minnesota, man, because at least you can still wear a tank top. We went home from Minnesota for Christmas, and 7 days, the warmest temperature in the entire time we were there was 7 degrees.
Ooh.
Yeah. So then you're like, Happy New Year. I don't know why I'm here.
That's cold even in Celsius. I was in Vancouver. I know.
He's Canadian.
I don't know why that. Yeah. I had to do the conversion in my head. I'm like, how much is that in Celsius?
Well, let's put it
minus.
this,
That's
that
in minus.
water freezes at 32 degrees.
Yeah.
So 7's a lot colder than that.
Yeah. I did actually go to Canada for Christmas for 4 days. And
Great.
that's all I could do with my family. That's enough.
I understand.
And it did snow, which it doesn't always. I know everyone thinks Canada is freezing and snowing all the time. Vancouver's kind of more like Seattle. Has anybody been to Vancouver before? Yeah, it's beautiful, right? I love it. It's where I'm from. Don't be jealous.
I'm so jealous.
But so I got a little bit of snow, a little bit of white
That's
Christmas.
good. You want a little. That's the thing. You want a little bit of the
Yeah.
snow, and you want to look like the postcard in White Christmas, and then get back to the palm trees.
Yeah. How was yours? You were here.
It was great. We were in Minnesota till New Year's Eve, and then we came here, and I drank some bubbly grape juice, played some Star Wars video games, and went to bed. That's my new. That
sounds lovely.
But friends, you have now met all of us. You've met Kevin. You met me. This is, in my opinion, the best part of the show, which is when you all get to meet each other. So just like church on Sunday morning, stand up, turn to your neighbor, say hi to someone you don't know.
Make
Except
a new
for
friend.
Denise, she's holding a possum.
Make a new
so
friend. Make
shake
a new
hands.
friend.
Oh,
Make a new friend. Making friends. Making friends. We're making friends. We're making friends. Making friends. Making friends. Making friends.
Oh, and then
Making friends.
Hi.
Making
Hi.
friends.
Shaking hands. Hi.
Making friends.
All right, that's good.
Making
That's
friends.
probably enough.
Did the people in the back do it?
I think so. I feel like if you give people, like, hello, how are you is about as safe.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good. Once you get past the hi, how you doing, it can go downhill fast. So we'll try to keep it friendly. In fact, if I do say so myself, that was a heck of a segue.
Ooh.
into the conversations going south fast because Kevin is not only, as I said, handsome, brilliant, interesting Canadian, and cute.
Thank
Someone's
you.
got a fan. Somebody's
She's
got
getting ready because she knows when she gets up here, I'm going to be like crouched on the other side of the couch,
Yeah.
shaking in fear.
Yeah, Kevin.
People in the back can't see, but you'll see. You'll see what's
Yeah,
about to
Denise
happen.
brings a live possum to the show, and Kevin is not a huge fan of the
No.
possum, but he still does it.
And she's now in every show. So fun. So fun. So fun.
Oh, it's true. We just can't. I love it, and I'm in charge. But Kevin is also an accomplished singer-songwriter, and he is going to start off the show, as he generously does, with an original tune that I also understand it's newer than Junior.
Oh,
here.
so
it's
new.
so brand new.
Yes,
Do
it's
you wanna-
like a week old.
A week old. I'm going to get out of the way, let you introduce you.
What I'm gonna do is sit here and pretend I'm not reading the lyrics that are on the desk. So for Christmas, did you have any awkward conversations with your family? Are you?
Yeah, well, you know what? That's the thing. When you're pregnant, that's all people want to talk about.
Right.
So I was able to get out of some of the most awkward conversations.
Okay.
But yeah, it's dicey.
Yeah.
When you get into a large, extended thing, some people do their best to go, I'm not going to get into it with whomever. Fill in the blank. I know we disagree. I'm not going to get into it. And some people come in with their horns up.
Yeah. No,
And
it's
they're
true.
like, I'm getting
Thank you,
into it tonight.
Yeah.
I know those, West Coast liberals are here and we're going to get them.
It's true.
But
I think it's harder now because we have social media and stuff. So I wrote this song inspired by my holidays and a very specific relative of mine. Goes like this. Hit it, DJ. My Uncle Jim is so opinionated. He argues with everyone he meets. Now he's on Facebook being controversial and clogging up my Facebook feed. I gotta block Uncle Jim again. He's on my page arguing with my friends, posting dirty memes and lurking like a creep. I gotta block Uncle Jim again. I gotta block Uncle Jim again. Yeah. I get nervous with new notifications because he tags me in offensive posts. He's posting selfies at the speed of lightning, and when he messages, I gotta ghost. I gotta block Uncle Jim again. He should think twice before he hits send, cause his replies are way too TMI. I gotta block Uncle Jim again. Yeah, I gotta block Uncle Jim again. He's so easy to offend. Oh, I've had enough of him acting tough. I gotta block Uncle Jim again. You know what I mean? I gotta block Uncle Jim again. He invites me to his poetry night better. Nobody wants to hear that, He alerts me that he's selling his bike. I better block Uncle Jim again, yeah. His political opinions are loaded. Block Uncle Jim again. Don't listen to it, you know what I mean? He wants to talk about which way he voted. I'm getting hives just thinking about it. I gotta block Uncle Jim again. He'd be easier to defriend, but then he'd act dumb and go and tell my mom. I gotta block Uncle Jim again. I also gotta block Auntie Pam, cause she's sending me too much spam. Boy, oh boy, they get me so annoyed. I gotta block Uncle Jim again. I gotta block Uncle Jim again. I gotta block Uncle Jim again and again and again. Thank you. Thank you. And I feel like people understand that.
I feel like anybody out there
Anybody out there?
understand that, yeah, we understand.
No, not
As a
at
matter
all,
of
really.
fact, your Uncle Jim could be my father, Jim.
Oh.
That's entirely
super
possible.
awkward.
And it also fits because we've got Facebook. We're trying to Facebook live stream. As of the start of the show, it was sort of weird. How's it going, babe? Are we streaming? It's not streaming. So.
Well, that's good.
So that
Nobody will see that.
That's right.
None of my relatives will see that.
What it means is we can speak freely.
Yeah. Well, okay. Speaking of which, I had Christmas dinner with a bunch of family members that I haven't seen in like 10 years.
And it was
really bad.
Ooh.
No, it was really bad. One of my cousins.
Was there a fight or just awkward silence?
It was just so awkward. I don't know why we did it. And then one of my cousins cornered me and was like, I read an article about you. I'm a homosexual, for those who don't know. And a lot of my extended family don't know necessarily because I just don't see them, you know what I mean? And so my cousin hadn't seen me since I was like, I was maybe in my teens and she was like 10. And so she corners me, she said, I read an article about you. And
and you were like,
I was like, oh, that's great. I'm gonna go over here. And she's like, no. I'm very open-minded and I love social justice. And I was like, okay. So I felt safe in that moment.
So you had at least one cousin.
One cousin that knows I'm gay.
In your corner.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's just fun.
Have they not heard your song?
Or seen a picture of me in the past 10 years.
Do they not know? I mean, I'm not saying that all bow ties are gay.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
It's just how you wear them.
It could be.
It's the moving, it's the walking, it's the talking.
It's the what?
It's the eating, it's the sitting.
It's all the boyfriends. I mean, I would think there's things.
Yeah. No, I don't think they've followed me at all. I'm not Facebook friends with any of them, so yeah.
Yeah. So you ate your cranberries and you got the heck out of there.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to California.
Yeah,
where we got in and out and no empty closets here. Everybody's all the closets.
Yeah.
Wide
Living the
open.
dream.
Yeah. Welcome. It's a beautiful
life.
Also, hey, speaking of Facebook and relatives, you may have noticed we've got the Trailer Trash Talent Revue sign here. If you're snapping photos and taking videos, that's fantastic. We encourage that. You go right ahead. And if you want to tag us, that's how. Trailer Trash Talent Revue. Review is spelled R-E-V-U-E because we're kind of hoity-toity that way.
We're high-end trash.
We're high-end trash that use the correct nouns?
British spelling? No, is that
British?
actually correct?
I think so. I feel like review, I think R-E-V-I-E-W is in review. And review is a show. A review.
I learned something today.
Look at that.
It was that.
2018 has not been empty-handed yet.
This is definitely our best show of this year.
We've knocked it out of the 2018.
Nailed it.
2017 can suck it.
Show.
We're really killing it so far. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have an incredible show lined up for you today. I mean, it already, if I may, got really started off to a good thing. Right? I know. We also have, in the show tonight, we have a fellow Trailer Trash resident here of the now Hollywood RV Park. You see that? We got a new sign.
I saw that.
Hollywood RV Park.
We're in Van Nuys, though.
We're in Van Nuys, but we have a Hollywood theme.
Oh, we do.
We're the closest RV park to Hollywood. It's only 18 to 8 hours away, depending on traffic. And we've named the streets. You see Melrose Avenue, Sunset Boulevard. We've named our little boulevards Hollywood things. We got it's Hollywood themed. I know. So we've got the new sign, Hollywood RV Park. But my neighbor, Phil Colombatto, a face-melting musician, not a magician. He plays music, doesn't pull things out of a hat. He is here tonight. He's going to kill you. He also travels with the band Louisiana Love Act. They're so good. They're so good, you guys. And we also have one of my favorites, a stand-up comedian, very, very funny guy, Ray Easter, is here tonight. You're going to love him. And our first guest.
Oh.
He likes you very much. Our first guest of the night, my neighbor and good friend. You know her as Denise the Possum Lady. Welcome to the stage, Denise.
And see? The baby doesn't even want to come up.
Yes, he does.
Aww. Do we still have to be kind of quiet with this one? Hi.
Hi.
I love you.
Oh,
I love you
look-
too.
Look at them, you guys. Now, you may have noticed Denise had a little trouble getting out of the chair because, true to their reputation, our buddy Del wrapped his tail around that chair. I said, I want to go up there.
When he was born, he was one of 5 that fit in here.
Yes.
So that's. I got him in June.
You got him in. So this is how big,
Yeah.
and probably
He's one
not
of the
getting
biggest.
any bigger. Correct? Or will he get bigger?
Oh,
We
he
don't know.
might.
Can he come sit on my Now, wait, now, before people are going, she's pregnant. She's going to have a possum on her lap. Should I intervene?
Just be.
Let me tell you that don't need to panic, because one of the things we've learned from our friend Denise is that possums, contrary to popular belief, do not carry rabies. This particular possum is super soft and shampooed and carried in Denise's bosom all the time, has no little bugs.
Clean themselves.
Now, I'm not going to tell you that if Del bites me, I won't freak out. But I'm not going to get rabies, and we don't need to panic.
You can hold him on your lap, but he's got sharp claws. Be careful.
She said he's got sharp claws. So, I just wanted you to all hear that.
Look, you guys, I got a possum.
Yeah, they were up on stage when they were tiny little babies, and this is how
Now,
big.
and we know now, Denise the possum, if he goes back to you, that's okay.
Okay.
But he's got his tail wrapped around my leg. Ugh. Blech. He's gonna go back.
Yeah.
I don't think you should make a possum do that much more than what a possum wants to do. Now, Del, see, that's the thing that people freak out about. See that thing? That's the oogie part.
Well, also the face.
I don't think the face is that. I think they're turning around. Let them. I think your faces are really cute. No, I think they're now. I will admit that when they open up their mouths, it gets kind of.
Yeah.
It gets a little spookier.
Yeah,
But they're fuzzy, and they got little fuzzy ears. Now,
They're really sweet.
Denise the possum lady, for those of you who haven't been to the show before or know, is a warm heart for these creatures. And oftentimes what happens is that mothers, who I can empathize with, carry 5 or more.
11.
Oh my God.
They have 10 teats and 1 in the middle.
So that's 8 more.
That's 11 babies. they
8
can
more than
have.
I have.
Yeah, 11 babies. Yeah.
That we know of.
Yeah.
You never know.
That the internet has seen anyway. Now, so they have 10 teats, you said?
10 teats in a circle,
Uh-huh.
and then 1 in the middle. So it's 11 teats. So 11 can survive.
Are
but
you
if
sure that one
12
in the middle is also a teat?
Yes. If there's 12 born, the 12th one will
If
die.
there's 12 born,
See,
It'll die. So that's it.
see.
if there's
now.
12 born. So now, and Del, as Denise was,
It touched me. The tail touched me. It was like a
Kevin.
snake.
Kevin,
It was a snake.
it's just a tail.
No. I felt it. Thank you. I like flop sweat right now.
It's just, no, I think that your instincts are good. But look, Denise has to, you're making him feel bad
I
about
know.
himself.
They're
I'm
super
sorry.
sweet. You would
I
love
think
them.
it's, no, we of course mean no offense to you, Del. I think you're delightful. Now, Denise will sometimes bring the possums, or they will come to her, they will be brought to her by other individuals because the mother is killed or injured, or a bird of prey has picked up the possums before and they've been dropped. And Del, my understanding, the first time we saw Del, this is his second time on stage. He's kind of a pro. He was one of 5. Then bring out that your pink pouch again, because that's where most of her thing, including the possums, hang out in there, by the way.
He was
He was one of 5 babies that lived in this thing. They were little teeny tiny.
Animal
when
control calls me to get them. At 9:30 at night, it's West Valley or East Valley. They say, hey, we've got baby possums. We can't take care of them. So we take care of them. We give them puppy formula until they're about 2 pounds, and then they can go to a licensed rehabber and get released.
And how often do they get released?
It's a good twice a year.
Twice a
Yeah,
year.
it's
So they
like
go
cats.
out. But every once in a while, either they're injured or they're just so darn cute. You keep one. Am I right? Now, you might be glad to know or interested to know, Denise, that Dave, our sound guy, Dave, shared with me before the show that he has some possum experiences as well. And I was telling him Denise is coming back with the possums, and he said, we have possums crawling over us in our bed at night.
Cool.
And I said, that's kind of what I said. Cool. I said, I didn't know you had rescue possums too. And what did you say, Dave?
We don't.
We don't, he said.
Visitors.
They come, he has a little kitty cat door in his trailer for his cats to come and go. And guess what? The possums come in and out of that door and they climb over Dave and his wife in the middle of the night.
This is why I don't live here.
Yeah, we should tell you, Kevin is the co-host, but he's incognito. He lives in an apartment like a slug, like some kind of bum.
With indoor plumbing.
With indoor plumbing, you don't ever have to pump your own sewage. I don't know what he does all day.
But the possums are sweet. Raccoons are the ones you got to be careful of.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, because
watch out for those.
We've had some people staying in this park, and the raccoons actually ripped the arm off of a cat and killed it. Yes, possums don't do that. They're very sweet. They're known as
but
the-
raccoons don't have the oogie tails, Kevin. So they get all the good treatment. So a raccoon ripped the arm off a cat?
Yeah, it just
Why?
because
Poker.
they regress. Squirrels and raccoons regress. Possums and skunks will not regress. Once they're tamed, they're tamed. They're super sweet forever. But raccoons always regress, and they're just a little more like crazy.
Evil is
Yeah,
the
well,
word Dave
and
would use.
squirrels. I've rescued many squirrels, but they just revert. Is what
Well,
the word
and I
is.
think it says a lot about the possum that their primary form of defense is just to lay down and pretend they're dead.
Well, they either go or they play dead, and that's their only defense. 40 million of them die on U.S. highways a year. Coyotes kill them, humans kill them. They beat the heck out of them. You can see them online that people just do mean stuff to these little innocent creatures that just want to be left alone. You can rub 2 plastic bags together, and they will run. They're afraid of everything. They're just...
And they don't carry rabies. This is something
Yeah,
Denise
there's-
reminds us of every month because some people think, I don't love killing possums, but I should because they're full of diseases, and that's not
That's
true.
not true.
And they eat a lot of garbage, and they eat a lot of mites, right? They
eat
kill a lot of
ticks.
ticks, so they get rid of the wood ticks, which I think we can all agree wood ticks are
Yeah,
gross.
4 to 5
You don't
thousand
rescue-
ticks a week.
They
It
eat a lot of
saves
wood
us
ticks.
from
Think about
life.
that.
When was the last time you saw a wood tick?
No, it's ticks. It's just
Listen,
ticks.
I'm from
ticks.
Just
Oh,
any
okay.
kind of tick.
I was like, what is a wood tick?
Minnesota, you guys.
I live in the
woods.
valley, so I mean, I live in
Oh,
Burbank.
hey, in
I'm near
Minnesota, we get
Burbank.
wood ticks. Yeah, they blow up like a grape. They are gross.
But they help us live. And if
Yeah.
people realized how great they are, they would treat them so
Have you
much
ever
better.
considered letting them stay in bed?
You don't have to let them stay in bed, but you can just let them go on.
All right. What if they
They're-
make the bed in the morning?
He's not a Disney princess. So.
Yeah, they got little hands. I don't know. They could do a lot of things. So one of the things that Denise likes to tell us is that if you find a possum out there, you don't have a reason to kill it. Just let it go. It's fine. And if you find one in danger that's been injured or hurt, you can call your local what?
You can call the animal shelter, but that's probably not the best thing to do because if I don't go pick them up or somebody else doesn't pick them up, they euthanize them. So
Sure.
I think there's an Opossum United States Rescue that you can call, or you can call me.
Call
Contact
Denise.
Dawn, and
Contact me. We have a Facebook page. If you honestly, if you find a possum, go to our Facebook page and say, we need Denise to come get this possum. And she will.
But there's been
And we'll put you in touch.
There's been possums found in the park that Jay, the groundskeeper here, he's found possums and they just bring them to me. And the one, he lived almost 3 years. So
Look at that, 3 solid years, guys, in the
and
hands
they
of
really
Denise.
don't live that long.
So, and look at the good little face. All right. Well, we are very grateful that you join us and that you share your possum wisdom with us. And it's good to see that Dell has gotten so big. And I know Kevin is delighted.
Well, I have a question.
Oh.
Like, you know where the tail touched me? It's kind of itchy now. So, do I have like a rash or something?
No.
I know it's not rabies. I know that, but
So what you're concerned about is that you
I-
have gotten an infectious disease
Yeah.
from being touched briefly by the tail.
Isn't that
I am with child. I held it on my lap. I'm covered in peanut butter and I have no worries. If one of us goes down, it should be you.
fair enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, please
Thank-
thank Denise, the possum lady, for all of your help
And
today.
thank you for letting me educate people about these precious creatures.
Of course.
They are super sweet.
Well,
Thank
we
you.
are very grateful
Yes.
that you come, and we have
Thank you.
we have a hand. See, that's where it gets dicey, though, right? When they open their mouths. And we've got Joe. He's here to help you off the stage with your precious cargo. Thank you again, Denise.
Yay.
We love you. Thank you so much. Bye, Dal. See? Yay!
Oh,
You did it. Get
I'm
over
so
here. You're such a
sweaty.
good sport.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying. You're shaking. Oh no,
I'm
you were
a-
doing
oh,
the
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I'm wondering. I feel like as your friend and co-host, there should be. It's fine.
It's just
Oh, there
itchy.
is a little bit of itch.
See?
Somebody said put a Windex here.
No,
Well,
they're
put-
very sweet. He actually looked a little sad.
See?
His face looked a little sad, so I had compassion for him.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's where you'll two connect.
Yes.
That and your similar defensive mechanisms of just pretending you're dead when you're scared.
Right, yeah.
That's fair.
That's how I get through life.
But I feel like there should be something I should be able, like you should be able to bring me into an environment in which I am scared and uncomfortable.
You're not scared of much, though.
We can find something.
Nothing I do, well, the loneliness of being alone in life.
That's scary. That's
How
scary.
do we emulate that? This quiet
You know what?
nights
I don't
alone.
like an escape room. If you put me
Oh.
alone in an escape room, I'd get weird.
I
fast.
think that I would give up, and I would just sit and wait for the door to open.
See, that's
Right?
they charge you too much money for that to you
Oh,
just
that's
sitting there
true.
and freak
That's
out.
true.
So that was our first guest, Denise the
Yes.
Possum Lady. But friends, before we bring up our next invited guest, everyone hears that, right? I'm not
I
having
know.
a
Is that
stroke.
the air conditioner?
I don't know.
No.
We'll figure it out. If there's
Oh,
a
it is, I
siren
think.
that follows it, that's when we get nervous. So friends, we had our first invited guest, Denise. Our next guest could be one of you. Uh-oh.
Who will it be?
Because you
Will
put your
it be
names right
you?
here into the bucket of
Will
destiny.
it be you?
And,
Will it be you?
We're going to find
Could
out
it
right
be
now.
you?
Oh,
Or you, or you, or
man,
you.
Who's it going to
or
be?
you, or you.
Oh, look at this. It's a repeat. Do we do a repeat?
I think so. It's only fair.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Tracy Ross. Tracy Ross.
Come
Oh,
into the
you know what
stage,
she did, girl?
Tracy
She
Ross.
ate her pizza and she left.
Now that is not
Oh,
cool.
Tracy,
That is
I
so
know.
rude.
I know where you live,
Yeah.
Tracy. I know where you live.
She might be watching it on Facebook
You know what
Live.
else too? She already has the hat. She already
Oh,
has two
okay.
hats. All right, who do
Here
we
we
have
go.
next?
Will it be you?
This is Matthew Chamberlain.
Oh!
Matthew Chamberlain, come on.
Come into the stage.
down.
Matthew
Hey!
Chamberlain, come into the stage.
Matthew Chamberlain, welcome to the stage. Hi, come on up. I did handle a possum. I haven't washed my hands, but you don't seem too alarmed.
Here
There's
you
a
go.
microphone for you. Now, Matthew Chamberlain, you are a stranger to me. This is your first time coming to the show. Is that correct?
Yep.
Welcome. Now, you have here, as everyone put, your baby name suggestion is Bethel. That's a great name. Where does the name Bethel come from?
Just came out of nowhere.
Well, we'll take that. I'll do this.
Do you want me to?
Yeah. So Bethel, it just came out of your head. You don't
Yep.
know anybody named Bethel?
Nope.
Babe, what do you think of Bethel?
If it's a boy.
If it's a boy. Have a seat, Matthew. Join us on stage. Matthew, welcome to the Trailer Trash Talent Revue. Now, are you staying here in the trailer park? And how long are you staying?
For about 8 months.
8 months.
Yeah.
Look at that. I got someone else who's sticking around for about 8 months here. Where are you visiting from?
I am from Northern California.
So all the way from Northern California. What brings you to Van Nuys?
Work.
What do you do?
I'm an iron worker.
Hey. What are you working on?
I'm doing the Sacramento, or the soccer stadium.
The new soccer stadium? Are we going to use that for the Olympics?
Maybe.
Oh. So Matthew, when you know that you were one of the iron workers that helped build that particular stadium, how many free tickets do they give you a year? 2, 3?
No.
Oh no, 0. That's a bummer. Have you ever left anything secret? And we're not on Facebook Live, so you can speak freely. Have you ever drawn a dirty picture on one of the iron things that you're leaving in the building, or buried a time capsule?
No.
Really?
Really.
What would it take for us to convince you to write Trailer Trash Forever on one of your pieces of steel in the thing?
I could probably do that.
Yeah, would that be cool? Because the Olympics are coming in 2020. I have a hunch they'll use that stadium you're building. I have a hunch that's why it's being built. And I will just be smug as hell. Walking by there, be like, my friend Matt.
Yeah, see that?
My friend Matt. What are some other cool things that you've worked on that we may know about or have seen?
I built the Bay Bridge.
Which big bridge?
The Bay Bridge.
The Bay Bridge? The Bay Bridge? What? So when you're doing your day-to-day job, are you hanging from trapeze-like things? Do you do some of the dangerous stuff like that?
Yep.
Do you have to wear one of those big harnesses and stuff? Cool.
Positioning hooks.
Really?
Yep. Upside
Are
down,
you ever
sideways,
upside down?
this
The
way.
audience needs to
Yep,
know.
upside down. Yeah.
That's great. So was that something that when you decided to be an iron worker that you were like, yep, totally get it. That's part of the deal. I got to hang upside down under a thing. Or was it something that you were like, oh, I got to. Was
No.
it hard to get used to?
Just went into it.
Just went into it. Have you ever had a close call?
Actually, yeah.
Like a hook came loose?
No, I've actually fell.
You did?
Yeah.
How far did you fall?
40 feet.
What'd you land on?
Concrete barge, and then 10 more feet into the water.
How'd they get you out of the water?
Luckily, there was a ladder right next on the barge that I have to.
So you
Grab a
fell
hold of.
40 feet, you landed on a barge. You fall another 10 feet into the water, and you're still able to grab onto a ladder and climb out?
Not really climb out, but grab it and then.
Somebody got you up. It's kind of James Bond stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't think James Bond could build a bridge.
No.
So in a way, you're like way cooler than he is. Well, I'm super glad that you're here. Do you travel around a lot? Is living in your RV your jam?
Off and on, yeah. I travel.
When you're done with this particular stadium, where do you go next?
I'm thinking the Rams Stadium.
Wow.
You're doing all the cool stuff, man.
might.
You've played all the big stadiums.
Yeah, I did help do the Viking Stadium too. So.
You know. Where's my Minnesota people at? Yeah. So we have a hunch that our Vikings are going to play in that stadium in the Super Bowl. We kind of got a feeling our hometown team is going to play in there. So if you can pull any steel to make that happen. That is such a cool stadium, man.
Yeah, it is.
Were you there in the winter?
Yeah.
We're not kidding around about that cold, though, are we?
No.
No.
50 below.
50 below. It's a real temperature.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
It's true.
Snowing sideways.
Yeah, it's true. Before my husband and I lived here in the RV park, we lived on a steel houseboat on the Mississippi River in St. Paul, Minnesota. And in the winter, 10 winters on that boat, and we'd break the ice around the hull, and our pipes would freeze and stuff like that. And let me tell you something, steel doesn't get warm
Nope.
when it's 40.
No, imagine sitting on it.
I don't
When
want to
you're
think
working
about
on it.
I don't want to think about sitting on it and working on it. Well, Matthew, thank you so much for joining us. We're glad you're here.
All
Now,
right.
the interview has been great, but we have yet another thing. You, as our first drawn guest, have a choice to make. You can either play our trivia contest, where we ask you a few questions. The trivia, I'll give you a little clue. It's kind of like 2017 year in review stuff. That's the trivia contest. Or you can do the physical challenge. Wow. Which all you know is that it involved peanut butter. That's all you know, is that I stuck a piece of peanut butter to myself in preparation for this game. So what do you think, Matt? Trivia or physical challenge? He hangs upside down he may not want to do the physical challenge. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll do the physical.
Physical challenge! All right, great. So I'll take the microphone. We're going to set up the table. Maybe we get Joe to come up here and help us out.
I'm gonna lose now.
Now, you should know that when you choose the physical challenge, you have already chosen to, red alert, red alert. You've chosen to go head to head against Kevin. And he, as you saw what he did when a possum tail touched him. Yep. So that is sort of his deal. Now, this is our peanut butter. Okay, now this game is called a sticky situation. And these two pieces of peanut buttered bread are your target, Matthew. And you and Kevin, those both came out of that hat. You and Kevin each have an equal number. It's about 12 ping pong balls. And what we're going to do when the challenge begins is we are going to put 1 minute on the clock. And at the same time, you and Kevin are going to have your ping pong balls. You're going to stand at the end here, and your job is to bounce the ball once and only once off the table and stick as many ping pong balls as you can onto your piece of peanut butter bread, okay? And I will be here so that if you get one, I'll take it off so that they don't bounce off. Do you feel good with your arm and your dexterity? You can switch, you're good?
I'm a little itchy still
Oh,
on my
for
elbow, so if I lose, that's why.
God. You know what you have to do? I actually just Googled this on my phone. If you get an itch from a possum, the cure is to rub a squirrel on it. How do you feel?
I'm not itchy anymore.
Okay,
It just went away.
All right, good. All right, hey, babe, do we have any sticky situation music queued up? All right, so we're going to put 1 minute on the clock. When I say go, go! And ready, 1, 2, 3, go! One for Matthew. One for Kevin. Oh, we're giving him more. 2 for Matthew. Oh, you can grab, if you've got more, grab them, keep going. We got 38 seconds still on the clock. So far, Mike. Oh, they're shagging their own balls now, guys. We've gotten into ball shagging territory. Oh, here we go, 27 seconds on the clock. Good job, Joe. You're doing your great ball handling. We've got 2 for Matthew to Kevin's 1. And 15 seconds still on the clock. Coming in hot. Oh, that was a close one. Oh, we're tied. We got a straight tie, 2-2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You should know, Matthew, that Kevin never freaking wins these
I
things.
don't.
And he does, and we're very proud of you,
Thank
Kevin.
you,
Congratulations.
thank you. It's a new year, new me.
It's true. It's true. But also, you get the prizes either way. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And you have your choice again as our first guest on stage. You get 2 prizes. The first one is a choice. We have very trashy little tree air fresheners for your car or your trailer, whatever smells worse. And as is our custom, sometimes my husband and I, we pilfer our own closet and bring things that we're not using anymore. And in this case, we have condoms and a pregnancy test. And We have 2 types of condoms, including a Magnum, because we don't judge. And the pregnancy test, I think there's 2 in there. So you're here for 8 months. You never know. So what would you prefer, the air freshener or the pregnancy test condom combo?
I think I'll take the air freshener.
Okay. But wait, there's more. Because you also, as the big winner, get a Trailer Trash Talent Revue baseball hat, and you have your choice between green and white two-tone or navy blue. What do you think?
The green.
Hey! Ladies and gentlemen, give our buddy Matthew a great big round of applause. Thank you so much. You're a great sport. Woo!
Are those your keys? Did you lose your keys? Are these your keys? No, these very important.
Oh, good. Hey, Kevin.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You won.
I won. I have a skill now.
You have a skill.
Throwing balls. No, we'll stop.
That's okay. But
No,
you know
I-
what?
It's going well.
I
find
there's
the
a joke
punchline.
there.
Yeah,
We're
there's
gonna
a
let
joke
them. We're
there
gonna
in the
leave it
balls,
alone.
but
We're
like
gonna-
it's not the time.
No.
That's
true.
Big G?
PG.
PG.
Parental guidance.
I don't know what that is.
I'm learning. But you won, and now I think, and you have witnesses. You can put that on your resume under special skills. Under a minute, I can bounce
Balls.
maximum of 3 ping pong balls.
Onto bread.
Pre-peanut butter.
Because what is the game where it's like beer pong?
Beer
is it
pong.
still the same kind of concept?
It's the same concept, except you have to get it into, and then there's drinking.
Oh.
The idea is that if you get it into their cup, they drink it.
Yeah.
If they get it into your cup, you drink it. And that you wouldn't do very well.
No.
I've
No,
seen
I
you
don't
drink it.
Yeah, it's bad.
Bad,
It's very bad.
yeah.
Right away. Just
Downhill.
a sip. I'm like, yeah.
Which is fun. It's fun to watch. You see what a possum tail
Yeah.
does to him.
No.
You can imagine.
I'm very allergic to alcohol too, so possums and alcohol.
You are a mess. Quit looking at it.
Wait, was it
Quit.
the SARS?
No, you can't even.
Whatever. I still feel it. It's still itchy somewhere.
It's I can feel it. Did you see him? He shot up like a rocket when that thing touched
It was
him.
so gross.
It was not. Oh,
But I believe that possums are good, and we should love and take care of them. I love the message of the show. I just don't want to sit
I
beside one
understand.
ever
That's
again.
fair.
So
I think that, frankly, to your political point earlier, I think we could all in this world get along a lot better if we agreed, you do your thing, just don't ever touch me with it.
right. Oh.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's a good rule to live
Yes,
by.
That's a good one.
Do it, just I don't want it on me.
Yeah. I agree.
Speaking of on me, that was a terrible segue. We have our next invited guest who is coming to the stage right now. I'm so
Yes.
excited. And this guest, I am a huge fan, and I happen to be lucky enough to live right next door to him, which means that on a pretty regular basis, I get to hear him rehearse. And it is so good. You know, you walk and you can hear it, and it echoes inside of his RV real good. So please, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming to the stage the very talented Mr. Phil Colombatto. Welcome, Phil. I'm going to get out of your way and let you do your thing.
All right. Well, this is fun, as usual. Thanks for asking me to do it. I appreciate it. Nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. If I don't sing and pray all night long, Ain't nobody's fault but mine. My mama taught me how to sing. My daddy taught me how to pray. If I don't sing and pray all night long, ain't nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. If I don't sing and pray all night long, ain't nobody's fault but mine. I've got a Bible in my home. I've got a Bible in my home. If I don't read it, then my soul gets low. Nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. Ain't nobody's fault but mine. Whoa, if I don't do it, then my own soul gets low. Ain't nobody's fault but mine. Thank you. Thanks, Dave. That sounds really great, man. Thank you,
Holy
Don.
Moses. Now, Phil, we are going to have Phil play us out of here at the end. So it's not the last you're going to hear from him, but I want to have you sit on the couch with me and talk with me a little bit before you. I know, he doesn't like that part. We're going to be fines and balls all over the stage all night, am I right? Oh, Phil, welcome. Now, Phil, you have been living in the RV park for a few months. How long has it been since that you've been here?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. June, maybe?
June.
I've left and come back.
But you have been living right across the street from me for
I
a few
have
months.
since I moved back, yes. Yeah, I went up, my band took a little trip up to Eugene, Oregon. We stepped off Santa Cruz, San Francisco, Sebastopol, Oregon, and then came back, and I was relocated.
Uh-huh. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah,
It's
was
kind
cool.
of the
think
dream.
I
I feel like there are a lot of squares out there, Phil, who work in like offices, who wish, probably on a daily basis, that they could wear snakeskin boots, travel the country in their RV playing music, and basically be Phil Colombatto. What do you have to say to those squares?
I would say rethink that.
Because it sounds pretty fantastic. What are they not thinking about? What are one of the pitfalls that those squares aren't seeing clearly?
Food.
Food.
Yeah, there's your food.
It's hard to get food.
Money, you know.
It's hard to make money.
Seeing my family. I haven't seen my family in almost 3 years.
Where do they live?
St. Louis.
St. Louis, it's a long ways away. So
Well,
what?
I got a lot of pets, and so it's hard to get back there.
It's hard to get back.
Yeah.
And what do they think of this rock and roll travel and lifestyle?
I'm not even gonna address that. That's not my
Oh,
concern.
all right. We'll wait until later tonight. We'll get to that later
Yeah.
tonight.
Well, I don't think traditionally anybody's parents are very supportive of.
No.
The
Well,
arts.
listen, we're gonna be delighted. Am I right, babe?
Right. Well,
If
that's-
Junior, if little Bethel calls us, he says, Mom, Dad, good news. I'm starving. I'm living out of my RV and I'm playing rock and roll music. We're going to be like, yay!
Congratulations to you guys, by the way.
Thanks.
I never noticed or anything.
Thanks. We're super stoked. We're super stoked. So you play a lot. You play with a lot of different folks. What is one of the bands or the main band that you're playing with at the moment?
My band's called Louisiana Love Act.
And they're
what's it
cool,
called?
man. I've heard your stuff. Where have you guys been playing around recently?
Ooh, the last one we did was up in San Francisco at the Great American Music Hall. It was a lot of fun.
That's
A
cool.
lot of
That's a
fun with my
super
friends.
cool venue.
Yeah, beautiful venue. Kind of like 1920s era, sort of all that like Egyptian design and stuff.
Yeah, so cool. And how long were you playing up there? Was it just a short
It
run?
was just one show. It was a show. That one, yeah.
Who were the other members of the band? How'd you all come together?
Well, there's a lot of guys, so get ready. I mean, it's like a 10-piece band.
Because you don't call yourselves the Love Act
That's right.
if you've only got a handful of guys.
That's right. Well, it all started down in New Orleans, so it kind of that's where the name. There's a club on Bourbon Street. There's a Big Daddy Lafitte's Love Act. And we'd walk by. I don't know what kind of love that is. But we run with it and take it in a different direction. And then when I got out here, I linked up with some guys up in San Francisco. This guy Melvin Seals is the organ player for the Jerry Garcia band for like 25 years. Really great player. And this guy Pete Sears, who was on all those like early Rod Stewart recordings. He was in Jefferson Starship and like Hot Tuna and stuff. Just total sweetheart. I guess there's a whole bunch of those kind of guys in the Bay Area, but now I'm working with the horn section that's from down here. John Papenbrook used to play with Buddy Rich's band, and Jerry Vivino from Conan O'Brien show. Jimmy Vivino's now playing guitar with us too. Also, he's a Conan's band leader and just probably the best blues guitar player out there. So
You know how long
exciting.
Conan has been trying to get on my show?
Conan? Oh,
So annoying, yeah.
I'm like, if you come in a limo, you're not welcome. That's what I keep. That's what I
have
keep
you
saying.
guys gone down to check it out? You
No,
guys should
no,
check
we
it out. It's
haven't yet.
free.
We really want to. I was actually, I was telling Kevin, I was on the Warner Brothers lot recently. I was supposed to be there. I was on the list. And the person I was walking around with said, the last time I was here, I almost got hit by Ellen DeGeneres' Porsche. And I thought that, if you're going to get hit by a car. Am I right? Getting hit by Ellen's Porsche is probably a great choice.
When I was there, Snoop Dogg was the guest, and they had his own trailer now for him so that he could just smoke up outside and not the green room's like very open to everybody. This is true.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. What's cool is living in a trailer. Sometimes I just pretend like I'm outside of the Jimmy Fallon show and that I'm just here for a minute. Or if Melby and I get into a fight, I go, I'm going to my trailer. And I'll kind of storm off. We laugh, because it's our house. Oh.
You're really selling it to me.
Yeah. Now, if you could just pick any band, any musician, living or dead, to play with tonight, we could just pick them up, we could put them right here, and you could play with them tonight. Who would it be?
I'd bring my guys down here. I'd get my whole band down here.
That's
Yeah,
did
they're
you
all
guys
over
hear
the
that?
place.
Anybody living or dead, he wants to play. How cool is that? I know what you said about maybe you don't have enough food, but I think that if you are playing with the people that you would choose in the whole world to play with, you probably got a lot good going on.
No, they got the food.
They bring the food. I get it. Well, you can take the peanut butter bread home with you if you want.
No, that's good.
There's been a lot of glittery balls on it, but that's probably not the first time, am I right? Well, we're delighted that you're here, and I'm hoping you can stick around because at the end of the show, we'd love to have you come up and play another tune.
Right on.
As
Well,
people are
thank you
chilling
so
out.
much for having me.
Awesome.
This
Ladies
is
and gentlemen,
a lot of
please
fun.
give a big warm thank you to Phil. Appreciate it, Phil. Ain't he good? Isn't he good?
He's amazing. So
I
good.
love it. I'm not kidding. A lot of times when I'm walking by Phil's trailer and I hear him, you heard him, he's so good, right? And he'll be jamming on his guitar. And I'm in my robe going to the shower, but I go like this. And then I feel like I am in the back lot of the...
Yeah.
You don't seem that impressed.
No, not
All
really.
right, that's
not
fine.
really.
We've got
I
our
would like-
next...
My
we've got
neighbor
our-
just yells at his. Anyways.
What is he?
go
No,
ahead.
you have to finish that. What is your
No,
neighbor?
he
yell?
just yells at anyone. So that's what I hear. I don't hear great music.
Well, you know
I
who
hear yelling neighbors.
my neighbor is on the other side?
No, who?
Denise.
Oh, fun.
She yells at her possums sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, sure.
I did notice scratch marks on her, so.
Those could be from anything. There's a number of things that could be from. Well, you know what? He'll just take that out of there.
Yeah.
Our next guest coming to the stage right now, I'm so excited to introduce this guy. I first ran into him doing stand-up comedy at the Ice House Comedy Club up there in Pasadena. Very, very funny guy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ray Easter to the stage.
This is the one that works, right? Okay. I've been watching the show. I've been watching. All right, I'm gonna do a couple of black dude jokes. I feel like sometimes I just have to prep. Possibly the whitest audience I've seen in some time. It's pretty cool. No, I like, it's cool. I feel safe. I do. I feel, that is. Well, no, I mean, I'm from Virginia, so trailer parks out there. Really? Wow, all right. It's not the response I wanted, but all right. I'll give you guys that. What part of Virginia, matter of fact, if you don't mind me asking? Roanoke, okay. I know. Fairfax is where I'm from. Cool, all right. Now that we got that out of the way, welcome. I am from Virginia. I moved out here about 1.5 years ago. I'm living in Koreatown right now. All right, I don't get that response either when I say that. Getting a lot of weird responses from this crowd. Not sure how I feel about it. That is true. I forgot where I was, but thank you for reminding me. Koreatown. I was actually having this conversation with this older white lady, and I mentioned I live in Koreatown, and she's like, "Oh, Koreatown! Wow, are you half Korean?" It's like, no, I don't know where you would come up with that conclusion. She was like, "Oh, it's Koreatown. I just assumed the people that live there might be Korean." Let's go, "Oh, no, ma'am. I actually couldn't find a place in Niggertown that was it's quite in my price range." She was like, "Oh, you mean Inglewood?" And I was like, "All right. Stand corrected." You stand correct. I do get that a lot, though. Some people think I'm mixed. I do get, I understand I have a light complexion. But both of my parents are black, by the way. But I was doing a show in the South, and somebody heard me say that, and they were like, "Oh, what? Both of your parents are black? Well, I thought you were one of those Milanos," which is, yeah. I knew what he meant to say. He meant to say mulatto, which is a racial slur for someone who's half black and half white. But he thought I was a cookie. But to be honest, I do kind of get that, though, because when I was growing up in high school, a lot of the kids would call me an Oreo, so I just assumed that all white people just see black people as different brands of cookies. So it's all right. I don't know. They've got me doing it too now, because every time I see an old black dude, I'm like, "Oh, there's a famous Amos right there. Look at that. Look at that. Same face on the bag and everything." But I'm fully black, so I get all the perks being a black man in America. I get all the perks. I get to say the N-word whenever I want. That's one of the perks. That's about it, actually. That's all I can think of on the spot. Sometimes I use it in very inappropriate places. All right, last week I actually used the N-word to win a game of Scrabble. Feel me? I feel like you've been there before. I just had it, it was on the board. There was an N-I, or 2 spaces, and an E-R, and I had 2 G's on me. I was like, nah, I know where those are going. And I was playing against a white guy too, so it was like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody sweat so much. He's looking at the board. He's like, what, man, you can't use that word. I'm like, no, you can't use that word. Probably check out that rule book again. It's in there. It's in there. I listen to rap music a lot. That's what I mostly listen to. I kind of came to the conclusion that I need to start, venturing out and listen. I got to listen to different genres of music, So one thing I've noticed is rap music has really messed up my vocabulary over the years. Like for instance, I speak slang pretty fluently, but I was like well off in my 20s when I realized that ludicrous is an actual word. I had no idea. It's an adjective. I did not know that. The way I found out, I was in a work meeting, and in the work meeting, the boss is talking about how he's just going to start laying a bunch of people off due to like budget cuts and stuff. And get out of the work meeting, and one of my coworkers was like, "Damn, Ray, that meeting was a bit ludicrous, wasn't it?" I was like, "Sure." Yeah, I thought it was a pretty Ja Rule myself. What the hell did you just say to me? Well, I got a buddy of mine told me that he can he's a metalhead, so he can start getting me into like some rock music that I don't know about. And I was like, all right, that's cool, I'm down with that. But I had to ask him. I was like, hey man, just for reference, I gotta know, who is your favorite rapper? And he was like, oh, I don't really listen to rap music too much, but I kind of like Marky Mark. I was like, nope, we're done here. Because there's no wrong answer to ask somebody who their favorite artist is, because music is subjective. But Marky Mark is the wrong answer to that question. It's like if you were to ask me like who my favorite rock band is, and I don't really typically listen to rock, so I don't know, but I wouldn't give you an answer like, I really like the Muppets. Is that a good answer? I like the Muppets. So, I like the Muppets, but I don't think that's actually Animal playing the drums. I don't think that's how that works. This is a cool show, man. I've been traveling a little bit for some shows. I was recently in Anchorage, Alaska. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. It's strange. I had a very weird vibe when I was out there the entire time, because I was like one of the only black person that I saw out there, and that's not what like freaked me out, because like I've been in the Old Navy before, but what was weird to me was I think the only black dude that I saw in all of Anchorage, Alaska, was the host of this show. And the only black dude in all of Anchorage, Alaska that the host saw was me. So that's a lot of pressure, that is. Because I get to the venue, and actually before, I'm emailing the guy, and he's like, well, this is great. We don't get a lot of black people. This is gonna be awesome. Word up. And I'm like, don't say that in the email. And I get to the venue, I see the guy, and he's like just wearing just a normal button-down shirt. And then he sees me, he runs to the back, and then he comes back, and he's got this Tupac Machiavelli shirt on. I guess to make me feel at home or something. And I was like, oh, okay. And he shakes my hand, and then he just starts beatboxing out of nowhere, just right in my face, full eye contact beatboxing, a lot of spit going my way. I'm like, dude, I don't think you know what's gonna happen right now. We're not about to form the first Alaskan rap group of all time. Because I don't know how that would look. What would we call ourselves? The NWA? Niggas with altitude? It's not a good one. All right, yeah, that's all the time I got. Thank you guys so much.
Hey, you on the show.
I know.
We tried this.
We did try this.
And you were so busy.
Was that
Was
the problem?
that it? Or maybe I was busy.
I think you were
That
busy.
was me. It was probably me.
Yeah.
But we got you here, and that's what's great. And
it's
if
great.
people like adore you and they have just become enormous Ray Easter fans, how do they keep up with you, and where do they see you next?
Oh, website, rayeaster.com. Got all my tour dates on there that it's coming up. You know, I'm going to be at the Ice House again. Yeah, and on the 5th or the 14th. I don't know. Go on the website, check it out. I have no idea.
That's why you put it on the website,
That-
so that you don't
exactly.
have
So
to
I
keep
don't
it
have
in your
to-
brain.
I know.
I love that club, the
Yeah,
Ice
it's
House.
great.
The
I love
night
it
that
too.
we performed together was my first time there.
And, oh, really? It was a great night.
It was a great
There's
night.
A lot of people
I mean,
there.
it was no trailer trash review. Don't get nervous, you guys. but
Yeah,
it
it wasn't
pretty fun.
that good.
It was
but
pretty fun.
It was pretty fun.
What got you into comedy? When did you start doing all this?
It was like 5 years ago. I was working as a, oh boy. I was an armored truck driver.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds terrifying.
Yep, that's why I got out. And yeah, I started doing, I was doing stand-up while I was working. And I was like, no mas, I can't do this.
Like while you were working, like park the car, run into a club, do a set.
Yeah,
No.
no. I would. That would actually be a lot of fun. But no, I would, work like 15, 16-hour days, and then go home, and then go out and do a couple of mics and shows, and
What is scarier? Guarding hundreds of thousands of dollars or doing stand-up comedy?
doing stand-up. Definitely, it's free,
Because I think for a lot of people, this is always what I get, is because for folks who don't do what we do, and it's like been definitively proven that people think that being in front of people, speaking in front of people is scarier than death.
Yeah.
How many of you, by a show of hands, would rather die than come up on stage and try to tell jokes and make people laugh?
Really?
There's a few.
You'd rather
See, some of
die
you are even too shy to raise your
than
hand.
come
You're
up
like,
here.
I've seen what she does to
That
people who
is-
draw attention to themselves.
Wow.
I know, and it is. And even for I was an actor for years before I tried doing comedy, and it scared me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that helps. Doing auditions and stuff like that.
It does.
Doesn't? Yeah,
It does.
I thought so.
It does. It makes
Yeah.
all of that stuff a little
That's
bit
good.
less scary. What would you say was the worst room you've ever had? The coldest, didn't like you the most room?
See, I was gonna joke for a second and say this one, but I don't want people to turn on me.
No, they
So
loved
no,
you.
I know. The worst one, all right, I got it. I know exactly what it is. It was in East LA. It was the night of the World Series, Game 7, in a Dodger bar, and they lost horribly. It was like 7-3. I
Why
don't
did
know if
they
anybody.
book stand-up in that bar then?
I don't know. And they were, so we went on after the game. Yeah, those people were not happy.
And they did not want to laugh at your. Did you make Dodger jokes? Oh.
Are there any Dodger fans in here? Really?
One.
Not
There was
good.
one.
There's one? Okay. Is that right there with the hat on backwards? Dodger fan? No?
Twins.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
there
I
it
thought
is,
so.
there it
I knew.
is, yeah.
Yep. I saw that blue. What was the question again?
Yeah, I forgot too.
forgot.
I forgot too. We'll let it go. Yeah.
Dodger jokes. Thank you. Paying attention there. No, I didn't. I just I did shit on him a little bit, but no jokes.
That might have
Weren't
been why the
jokes.
room was fairly cold. Is
Yes.
You just hurt
yeah.
their feelings.
Well, it was cold in the beginning, and that did not help.
And it got icy.
And it got
after that.
icy. It got icy.
Kevin, what made you go from music to doing? I mean, I know comedy and music are intertwined for you in your shows, but was there a moment when you decided I'm ready to start telling jokes too?
Good question. Well, yeah, because I do colleges, and so I had all these songs when I started in comedy, and they were all these weird songs. And I put them on YouTube. They were all mostly music videos, and I didn't know how to kind of put them together and string them together in a show. So my friend was like, you should take a stand-up class, just like even if you don't want to do it like in your show, just to learn it. And so I took a class with this really old comic from New York.
Oh, who is it?
Can't remember.
Damn.
But he
Text me when you
Yeah,
find
yeah, I
out.
will.
Yeah,
I'll look
I
him
wanna
up
know who
on.
that is.
He probably still runs that club and he teaches this class. And so I really set up like I learned the setup and the punchline, and but he was so old school that I was like, none of this is gonna work, because it was like all like bum. And then at the end of the it was 8 classes, and at the very end I got to do in front of a live audience, and then and it all worked. And I was like, okay, I take it back. But you took a class too, right? Like
I
woman,
did. I took
funny
a class
woman?
for pretty funny women.
Yeah. And
You
but
know,
that was the
1
same.
out of 2 ain't bad. And
Oh.
and it was great. It was, and they basically were like, so you're kind of funny at a party, but here's how to write a joke.
Yeah.
And it was really, really helpful, and I enjoyed it.
Did you ever have a bad show either?
I feel
Ooh,
like
yeah.
I haven't done that much just straight stand-up comedy, you know what I mean, going out, but I've been doing it for a couple of years, and I will say I haven't crashed and burned yet. Yeah. I've had some
Ooh.
shows that were better than others. I've misread a crowd, but I haven't left a club going, I don't think this is a good idea. I think I should do something else. I've lucked out so far.
Yeah, you have. Well, it's coming.
It's coming. It is coming.
It's
and
coming.
I haven't
It's
toured
good.
like y'all have toured and gone all over the place. Like
Yeah.
I haven't.
I mean, that's what happens. You get bad shows, It's,
I run my own show. They have to. I give them food.
Well, yeah.
You know
yeah,
what
they
I
have
mean?
to
I
laugh.
warm them up.
It's like,
Now-
I feed you.
We are all huge Ray Easter fans. We adore you, and you, for coming on the show today, Ray, you get to choose
Oh, snap.
whether you want a blue or a white and green Trailer Trash Talent Revue baseball hat.
That is tough choice. I'm going to go with the blue.
Hey! Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our new friend, Ray Easter.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we're just about done, folks. We have nearly ended. We got one more thing. Are you
One
ready?
more special guest.
One more, and
And
it
who
could
could?
be you.
Will
Oh,
it
it
be you?
could be you.
Oops. I'm
Oh,
losing
you
them.
know
I'm
what
losing them.
happens when they jump
There's one
out.
more. There's one
when
more.
they jump out,
Oh.
it means they're the choice.
Oh.
And this is Crystal Eckel. Crystal, are you here?
Yes,
Hey!
in the house.
Hi, Crystal.
Welcome. Hi.
Welcome to the stage. Now, Crystal,
Here's a microphone.
I remember talking to you. Ooh. She put a boy and a girl name.
I did.
Elise or Brodey.
Yeah.
Now, my last name is Brodey.
Really?
But that's because my real last name is Melby. So naming it Brodey Melby.
I like it.
Whoa, it'd be like a tribute to Mom's career that was, because you ruined it when you were born. So that'll be great.
I like it.
Have a seat, Crystal Eckel. Welcome. Now you are here. Are you staying in the RV park?
We are.
And where are you from?
Well, originally from Virginia.
And you were the one from Roanoke, were you?
Yeah.
Now I have a history degree, Crystal, and I use it for instances like this.
Okay.
So I know about the missing Roanoke colony. That's all I know. Do you guys know about this?
I don't.
What? I'm like, no, I get to educate. So where were they from? England?
I really don't know about
Really?
it.
You don't know about this? So the Roanoke, the original, I want to say England, Google it. I want to say it was England. And it was probably around the mid-1600s. They were one of the very first colonists to come over from England to colonize in the United States, and they set up in Virginia. And they were doing pretty, and people had colonized, they weren't the very first, you know what I mean? We had the Mayflower, and there were people who had done it. And they got to Virginia, and they set up the colony, and they had a guy in charge, and they had a mason, and they had a baker, all the thing. And they were doing all right. And then one of the main captains went back to England, got a few more people, comes back to Roanoke, and everybody's gone.
Really?
And I mean gone. And there's a sign carved in a tree that said something like, you know what I mean? Like they started, You know what I mean? Like and it's one of it's the missing colony of Roanoke. It's one of the unsolved American mysteries, and there's these theories that they cannibalized and that they went crazy and on each other. And then there's some people that say the native people came in and killed it, but they had pretty good relationships with the native people, didn't they? And they talked to the native, and they were like, I know, you always think it's us. You know what I mean? Or maybe it was a disease, but then where's all the bodies? And they were perfectly able to write down what was going on, and they didn't write nothing.
I should have paid attention in history. I
Yeah,
know it.
and you didn't know. And I'm surprised that they don't have a little museum. You probably wouldn't go.
No.
I go to all those. Don't I, sweetheart? Yeah. We go to stuff, and I go, there's a museum here. And he goes, oh, there's a bar, too. So what brings you to Van Nuys?
Well, my husband and I have been traveling in the RV for going on 3 years. It's 25 foot, and we've been to 36 states, and he works during the week.
What does he do?
Run around. He's a database architect.
So he doesn't have to be in any given place.
Nope.
And that's why y'all decided to see the country.
Right. Yeah.
36 states. What's your favorite?
Oh, gosh, that'd be hard, but I love Vermont.
Vermont is beautiful.
Love
And
Vermont.
so he's working, and you're chilling out, and you are just loving life. What do you do during the day when you get?
Well, I'm a certified professional organizer, and I do jobs, but they're not, regular jobs. So I have like relocation companies that might hire me, and I help people with their hoarding, that type thing. So
I need you to go to
sporadically.
Denise's house.
Yeah.
Well, so when someone hires you, if an individual hires you,
Yeah.
and they say, Crystal, girl, how hard is it for you not to go, oh my God, before you go to work?
No, it's not hard.
You're not
I really
anymore.
enjoy it, but yeah, I have clients that have 6,000 square foot homes that you can't even walk in. So
Wow. What is the first, when you see something like that, what's phase one? What's the first thing you got to do to organize that stuff?
let them know that things are going to be changing pretty quickly.
Yeah, and they're going to have to throw things out. That's got to be the hardest, right? Is that people
to
just
edit, yeah.
can't get rid of stuff. Do you find that as an organizer, your life is very organized, or is it like the chef's kids starve, your house is kind of?
We're pretty organized. In 25 foot, you've got to be organized.
You do have to be
Pretty
organized.
organized.
That's true. We probably, my husband and I, when we moved out here, lived in a, 34 feet, sweetheart? 34 feet was our first one, a little Airstream.
Yeah, oh, I
And
love that.
it's not, and now it's like 35 feet, but it's got extensions. So, I don't want to brag, but we have extensions in our RV, so we have a little bit more room. And it's cool, and it is, and having a small space keeps you organized.
It does. Yeah, and we don't have any children, so of course we don't have any grandchildren, so it's a little easier to keep.
So you'd be a great babysitter, is what you're saying.
Yeah, be a bank.
Kevin, would you ever need an organizer in your life? Is that something that you would need? You feel pretty neat?
I'm pretty neat because I've toured, and
you're gay.
and I'm a homosexual. So no, because anytime like I toured, like I didn't have a home toured, so I went from hotel to hotel.
Right.
And I had no home base, so I had to live out of a suitcase. And then that's when you learn that you
yeah.
don't need that extra pair of socks.
That's
Like,
exactly
you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
Yeah. So what would you say to like the average person? You're not a hoarder, but we could all probably use some up. What would be like your number one tip to like your average person who just wants to get more organized?
Well, once you get organized, you have to do the catch and release. If you bring something in, something has to go out.
Oh, that's good. Look at everyone. Thank you, Crystal.
new year, new you.
Well, Crystal, you are our second guest, and since we already had Matt do the physical challenge, it means you're doing our trivia
Oh
contest.
boy, this
Okay.
So
This
you know how good I am
is
in history.
this is good. That's true. We already saw you don't know much about the city you're from, so this doesn't look. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. But Kevin, we can have, maybe you can, and Kevin can work as a team because he doesn't know.
Oh, I know nothing.
He
I'm not helpful at all.
And he doesn't get these secret questions in advance. So the name of the trivia contest, sweetheart, is 2017 What the Blank. So it's the fill in the blank.
Okay.
And multiple choice.
All
So can't be too bad. Is my microphone a little hot? Is that me that's doing that?
I'm really bad at.
We'll figure it out.
Well, you know.
All right, so here we've got
That's
5 questions. You only got to get 3 out of the 5 correct
Okay.
to win the big prize. Question number 1. One of the top 10 trending stories of 2017 was the live-streamed birth of a resident of the Animal Adventure Park in New York City. 1.2 million people watched April give birth to a baby what? Is it an A, panda, B, giraffe, C, gorilla, or D, hippo?
I think it's a giraffe.
I think it was a giraffe too. I remember that.
It died.
Did it die? Thanks a lot, Dawn. Bringing up all the
Good
sadness.
job, you did. You got it correct. It was a giraffe. See, there they are.
Yay!
I don't know if you guys heard
Before-
it, but Crystal goes, I think it died.
I think it did. It was so sad.
There was also a hippo that got born too, no? Or
We'll
am I making
Google
that
it.
up?
Looks good in the picture. All right. I didn't read
too bad.
everything about these things. All right, so good. You've got 1 out of the gate. All right, question number 2. Hurricane Harvey made landfall in southern Texas in August, putting much of Houston underwater. The storm dropped over how many feet of rain in parts of Texas? Was it A, 8 feet, B, 2 feet, C, 4 feet, or D, 6 feet? 8, 2, 4, or 6?
Well, I know
pretty
it's
high.
6 or 8, so let's go with what?
How high is this? Well, let's see. I'm like 5'7",
Okay.
so maybe
Well, it was taller than you. Yep.
maybe yeah.
We'll go with 6, 8.
Do you think 6? Should we ask the audience? Can we do?
Sure, let's see. They are going to
Okay.
answer. I don't know if they're going to know, but they'll answer.
Okay, what do you guys think?
Okay, raise your hand if you think 6.
All right.
Which one is D? That's 8.
That's 6.
That's 6. Okay, raise your hand if it's 8.
Oh,
I
man.
think more 6.
Okay, we'll go with 6.
6 is correct!
Oh, good job, audience.
Yes, good job. All right. All right. You're doing a great job. All right. Number 3. Which of these things was not reported found in a patient's rectum in 2017?
Cool.
Now, this comes to us actually from our own story. We have a lot of nurses, a lot of traveling nurses living here in the Balboa RV Park, and they know about things people put in their rectums. And so 3 of these...
Don't look at me.
Yeah. So 3 of these were reported found in someone's rectum, and 1 was not, okay? Is it A, a jar of peanut butter? B, a toothbrush holder, not a toothbrush, the holder of the toothbrush. C, a can of Spam, or D, 2 D batteries. What was not found in a patient's rectum in 2017? Jar of peanut butter, toothbrush
Spam?
holder, can of Spam, or 2 D
Spam's
batteries.
weird shaped.
It would be hard.
Spam's like a. Well, so would peanut butter, really. A jar of peanut butter.
Ugh.
I think the holder could. That could be.
Yeah. You might
With
sit
the
on it.
proper
sit on it.
motivation.
By accident, you sit on
Sure.
it. The batteries just. I mean, but I hope people are smarter than to intentionally put that into you because.
I'd like actually Melody
That-
to put the image up. It's not of the thing in question. This is, but
Oh,
that's sort of a
Merry
a
Christmas.
festive holiday.
Yeah.
That's a real X-ray. Bless their heart.
Well, once it goes in, you can't get that out.
That's
'cause
right.
it's
That's
hooked
why
in.
you got to go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
That looks like a toothbrush.
Jar of peanut butter, toothbrush holder, can of Spam, or
Wait.
two-
So is
2D
Spam?
batteries.
Am I mistaken that Spam is a weird shape?
Yeah, it's a
It
square.
is.
a
It's
weird-
kind of a
it's
little.
like
It's
tuna.
kind of a rectangle-y, with, but
Yeah.
it does have rounded corners.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I
Dave.
can't help you with this one. I don't know, because the small ones seem like. Well, definitely the batteries seem stupid.
Yeah.
Because that's. I mean.
I haven't ever thought of anything like this.
Shall we divide? Do you think Spam? I think spam too.
I think spam.
They're going with spam. It was the 2D battery.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
But in your defense, it was only 1D battery that was found in their rectum. They didn't put 2 in there. That would have caused a little circuit. Depending on how you do it.
Is there more details? Like, was it a mistake? Or?
I wish. No, I think, reading into this, some of the folks, I'm sure when you go in there, you're like, I don't know how this happened. I'm sure that when you're filling out your intake paperwork, you're like, I woke up and or I slipped in the shower out of this jar of peanut. I don't know. You figure it out. All right, you're doing great. You've only got one wrong.
Okay.
Number 4, the total solar eclipse of August 21st was the first such phenomenon visible in the United States in how many years? 75 years, 120, 60, or 99? How many years since the previous solar eclipse that we saw on August 21st?
Sounds like the audience knows the answer.
75, 120, 60, or 99?
Y'all know it? Can I ask them?
You can ask them, sure. They feel very...
Who thinks 99?
Oh,
Who
there is
think-
no none of the above. I don't do that.
Who thinks, what was it, 60?
60.
Who thinks 60?
I think it's because they said 99. That's why I think.
All right, we'll go with 99.
It's 99.
Yeah.
You learned that in school. See,
It's
they
so
said
specific.
it to them at school.
I was like, it's such a specific number for
Listen
them to know.
that. All right, in January, this is your last one. I can
Okay.
tell you right now. You're doing great. In January, vandals temporarily changed the famous Hollywood sign to read what instead? Was it don't do that? Was it A, Happywood, B, Hollyweed, C, Hollywood you question mark like a marriage proposal, or D, Burbank forever? Was it Happywood, Hollyweed, Hollywood you, or Burbank forever?
Yeah, I think I did see that
Yeah,
one.
that was a big deal. Show the signs to Hollyweed. And you want to know what's great about this particular piece of vandalism is that even the most stoic news reporters were like, wow. You know what I mean? Good job. Because it's hard to get up there. And you got to be stealthy and athletic and prepared, and it's kind of funny, because they just passed the legal marijuana law, and the good people went up there and went, And if you're gonna spend all day on your athleticism vandalizing something, I think we can agree that's kind of fun. Nice type of thing. Well, Crystal, you nailed it. You only got one wrong.
Thank you for your help.
You did such a good job, and that
Thank
means,
you.
good news, you get 2 prizes. You get the pregnancy test and the condoms.
You never know.
I'm not into that.
She's not into that. All right.
I think that
Kevin?
ship sailed.
Even the condoms?
Well, that
We'll
ship had
see.
sailed.
This is the kind of thing, too. It's a very difficult gift. People are like, thank you. But you also get your choice of green and white or blue Trailer Trash Talent Revue baseball hat.
Thank
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for our friend Crystal.
Thank you very much.
She did a great job. All right, good news, honey. We're bringing the condoms home.
The magnums.
Oh,
Whoa.
ladies and gentlemen, we done did it. We got through the show together. I'm so impressed. I'm so pleased. I'm so glad you came. And thanks once again. Now, before we go, Kevin Yee, if people are in love with you and want to see more of you, how do they find you? What do they? I know you got lots of new stuff
I
going on.
know, I got so much, but I'm actually headlining Flappers this Wednesday, 10 o'clock show, you guys. So come out and drink a coffee beforehand.
Drink a
Because it's
coffee.
late, I think on a Wednesday.
Wednesday night headlining in the
Headlining
main room.
in the main room.
In the main room at Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank.
Yes.
This tonight was my 5th show of the weekend. I did
did
2
it.
shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. This show tonight, so I'm going to eat some peanut butter and just be pregnant for a couple of days. But I have a show coming up January 28th at Bar Litzich.
Ooh, is that in
on
Burbank?
Sunset
Oh, okay.
in Hollywood, and I will post that on the website. Also, even though our live stream pooped out tonight, guys, we did record tonight's show, and we have a nice 2-camera shoot, and we'll have the whole show up, and you will be able to see that on our YouTube page, which is Trailer Trash Talent Revue, or you can go to our Facebook page, which is /Trailer Trash Talent Revue, and you can be like, you guys, I went to this trailer park in Van Nuys. And she made this guy, an iron worker, put ping pong balls. And anyway, here's the video. And you can watch the video and share it and like us and come back and see us. We'll announce when our next show is performing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again and have a great night.
Thank you.